This time last year, one of the most immersive, beautiful, and one-of-a-kind games was released. And to be honest, this game couldn't have come at a more perfect time. In the midst of a worldwide pandemic that forced a lot of people into hard times, caused a lot of stress and sadness, and made many people home-ridden for the foreseeable future, Ghost of Tsushima was there to ease the blow. To say that Sucker Punch did a great job with this title would almost be the biggest understatement that probably ever left my mouth. After being in development for almost 6 years, the game was finally released to the world, and with incredible success at that. This game received some of the highest praises from some extremely notable reviewers around the world. But honestly, reviews are one thing. I had to find all of this out for myself. So for the first time, I fired up the game and began to immerse myself in the world of Jin Sakai. From the very first scene at Komoda Beach, where a handful of samurai ride into battle against an overwhelming Mongol force who were storming the beach, all the way to the very end where we finally liberate Tsushima Island of the unforgettable villain Khotun Khan. I was extremely taken back. The story was full of incredible friends we meet along the way to help Jin on his quest in becoming the fabled ghost. The way each character is developed makes it feel as if they're our friends in real life. Their stories of being lost, scared, and fighting for their home really hits hard when you begin to see it for yourself. Families murdered, homes burned to the ground, people taken hostage, friends betraying you to survive. Their island was in turmoil and cut off from the rest of the country. These things are portrayed in such a real way that you feel what these characters are feeling. Whether we gained a new friend or unfortunately lost a friend, it all felt real. The emotional roller coaster this game put us on was well worth the feeling of completing it in the end. To be able to take hours and hours on a story as compelling as this one was an absolute honor, to say the least. It didn't feel like a grind. It didn't feel like work. It was something I wanted to do. I mean, there were times where I had to convince myself to go to sleep because I wanted to progress in the story and find out what amazing feat Jin Sakai was going to pull off next. And to think all of these things took place on a breathtakingly beautiful island. Sucker Punch did an incredible job at making this island feel alive. The way the sun hits your character as you ride your horse through the meadows, to the way lightning strikes above you as you fight off Mongols who took control of the roads. Even the way Jin would lean down from his horse to run his fingers through the tall grass while you're riding. No matter how hard I try, truthfully, there really are no words to explain the beauty of this game. Along with the unique plot, the main story also included an incredible feature that many around the world took advantage of in a beautiful way. This feature is none other than probably the greatest photo mode I have ever seen in any video game. This photo mode came chock full of features that allows us to document literally everything and anything we wanted throughout the story. I can't even tell you how long I spent in this photo mode trying to get the perfect shot to capture these beautiful moments. Whether we're in the middle of an intense and gruesome fight with the Mongols and chopping off their arms, or we're on top of the world on a beautiful mountainside where we can capture that moment and honestly save it forever. And if you haven't taken the time to use this photo mode, I would highly suggest becoming acquainted with it and using it. You won't be disappointed. As if the main story was not amazing enough for all of us, Sucker Punch released a free online multiplayer that completely changed the game for many people. Not only were we now able to play with our friends and others from around the world, but this mode, known as Legends Mode, continued the story of Io, who was only vaguely mentioned in the story of Jin Sakai. Io's mythical storyline was told in a way that allowed us to play through with a friend, and I must say it was beautifully done. Sucker Punch found a way to not only tell an amazing story, but make it to where it felt like it would never get old playing with a friend through this storyline. There were bonus objectives that came along with this that kept us pretty busy and honestly left us feeling pretty accomplished upon completion. Along with the amazing story, Legends mode brought about a survival mode that led to some incredible players being able to showcase all of their hard work and dedication through speedrunning and leaderboard rankings. And it's because of this mode that I was able to meet some absolutely amazing gamers that I honestly still learn from to this day. Legends mode was incredible in many ways, but if I had to choose one thing that it did the best, it was allowing the community to come together and create bonds that would eventually turn into friendships. And these friendships helped so many people through incredibly difficult situations and times in their lives, and in that way we are blessed to be a part of this. Now, I would be a fool not to mention how this game has changed my life, helped my YouTube channel grow at an insane rate, and allowed me to bring together two incredible communities. This game has helped me create a place where many can come and feel safe to be themselves and enjoy the company of one another without toxicity. I could probably go on for days, honestly, how this game has brought happiness to so many around the world, but I'll leave you with this. Ghost of Tsushima is a game that will never be forgotten. I'm happy to be a part of this amazing community, and I would be lying if I said that I wasn't excited to see what the future has in store for any of the upcoming Ghost of Tsushima content. Sucker Punch has left a piece of history in all our hearts and did it in the form of a video game. They shed light on the history of a place that was thrown into turmoil by one of the greatest and most gruesome militarized forces ever known, the Mongols. Granted, they had to change the obvious historical outcome in order to create a compelling story, but I'm sure I can speak for us all when I say that I'm not even upset about it. This game changed my life, and I'll forever be grateful. So thank you, Sucker Punch, and here's to many more years to come.